Hello everybody, welcome to my first review on the Lightly Toasty channel, otherwise known as the person who is a professional Olivia Rodrigo critic. I do not take this term lightly, no pun intended, but I do think I am very good at what I do. Miss Olivia is back with a brand new record, and I have kept a pretty close eye on her trajectory ever since her simple little song about a driver's license popped off so hard. She's had a pretty good track record up to this point, specifically with the whole sour phase going into her spilling her guts, but then there was always this lingering criticism about her music, and that's that it was paying homage. Her brand of angsty teen girl pop followed a little bit too close to the heels of her predecessors, namely Paramore. A song like Good For You sounded as close as you could possibly get to a song like Misery Business without legal team at your doorstep. And this was many people's complaints with her music, mine included. It was just that she couldn't really find a sound that was specifically hers. Her sonic DNA did not give me a specific reason to want to keep coming back. But as she took a little break from mainstream albums, a quick detour into a movie soundtrack, the sheer artistic growth that happened in this single period of time genuinely shocks me. She still has that original Olivia Rodrigo flavor of this early 20s lady who is very confused, very love-struck, and always using this wordy style to her writing and these constant metaphors for love, blah blah blah. But the glow up in terms of the focus of the album is pretty impressive. Just for an example, you could look at the titles. It changes from this minimalistic forward, not necessarily pretentious, but it feels like, yeah, we get it. Sour, guts, like, I don't know. There's something about that. It's like, yeah, I know, we get it. But it changes from that weird minimalistic style of that angsty teen kind of energy to this soft-spoken, self-reflecting title of You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love. But most importantly, I say that she actually did what she set out to do. And that is finally carve out her own sound that sounds unique, interesting, something I want to come back to. It's not only just this like generic pop rock sound that's trying so hard to be something that she really isn't, but she blends these sounds together with these lush synths, these unique string arrangements, and gorgeous piano sections. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The album kicks off with the lead single, Drop Dead. It starts off with these video gamey sounds that sound pretty cool that lead into this chorus with a massive layered vocal performance just before introducing these lively, organic sounding drums. If this were Olivia Rodrigo from like 4 years ago, the next step would just be, generic guitars added over that. Instead, she actually evolves that video gamey sound in the beginning, and then at the same time layering that with the string ensemble, and then also constantly building on the vocal performance. Musically, it's a great indicator for where the album is about to go. Although personally, I do find the hook pretty cheesy. It's just something about someone stalking you on the internet. It's kind of eye-rolly of a concept for a song. It is what it is. It's Olivia Rodrigo. What can you say? I feel like the other reason that I might not like that song as much as some other people might is just because of how good the writing gets directly after that track. Still, we go into Stupid Song, which in theory, like when it starts out, it sounds like, okay, you kind of know where the song is going. But then it gets to that midway point where you introduce these pretty impressive drum and guitar patterns that get catchy incredibly fast. The constant rise and then fall of the vocals is pretty sick. The writing is incredibly vivid, and it's relatable in that Olivia Rodrigo way, where the concept behind the track is not anything that crazy. It's actually ridiculously simple. But the way it's portrayed and the way that she puts you into her shoes and does an excellent job of just showing you exactly what she's feeling and what a lot of other people have felt, which makes a song like Stupid Song pretty good. But then we get into my personal favorite song off of this album, which is Honeybee. This track encapsulates everything that makes Olivia Rodrigo good. And whereas the other song does have these sections where, it adds the drums and the guitars and tries to go for some catchy radio appeal, this one is completely drumless. And the main high point of this track is actually when the pianos start just losing their minds at the end, and that part's really awesome. While the concept here is simple, again, it really portrays the feeling of just hoping that things work out. There's this blunt feeling to the writing that just makes the fear of losing somebody feel universal. But boom, we transition right from that immediately into Maggots for Brains, which kicks off with this guitar tone that is so similar to the Strokes that I start to raise an eyebrow. However, once you get past that, it turns out to be one of the most catchy songs on the record, sporting a fantastic hook and a hilarious concept, depicting how much of a total shell of a woman she becomes when her man just leaves for a second. Then we go to You Plus Me Equals Heart, and this is where I kind of have to pull out the yellow card. Almost certain that I've heard that guitar line before. Closest I could find was to a certain Metallica song. I'll put the comparison here just for reference, and you could decide. It's not one-to-one, but the melody is extremely similar. Aside from that, the track is just okay. The concept isn't all that interesting. She's singing about her love for yacht rock music and carving names into leather seats. It's okay. The vocal performance is just standard for her standards. It's not a skip by any means, but it's definitely middle of the road. Thankfully, we get onto a certified banger in My Way. It starts out with this plucky guitar line and abruptly drops into this abrasive alarm that sticks around for the whole song and evolves within the production as the track progresses. Conceptually, it's an extremely childish song. It's literally just about her. She wants her way. Like, who could have guessed? But that hook is so obnoxiously catchy that it's infectious that I just don't care. My only real complaint with the song is that she just kind of starts yapping on the bridge. Like, I didn't need that, but honestly, it's not that bad. Purple is a song that I honestly completely forget about every single time I revisit this track list. It's not a bad song at all, and the concept is just okay. I mean, it's just her melting with somebody else. Like, red and blue make purple. Ooh, wow. It's a masterpiece. But that is kind of the main problem that I have with the writing on this album, is that it's one metaphor and then it just kind of stops there. But that being said, it's still a nice sentiment, and there's nothing bad about the track, but there's nothing that other songs off this exact album don't do, if not even better. Then we pivot to The Cure, which is one of the best songs off the album. The metaphor, again, pretty simple. You could literally get it from the title. However, where the concept actually goes, unlike the other songs where you just kind of get the concepts right away, this one is actually kind of fascinating to see where it actually ends up and what she does with the idea. That storytelling mixed with the acoustic guitars and that really awesome section where she unravels at the end. It's definitely goosebump territory for me, like massive highlight. Begged is another great song where it's a heavier focus on the writing and the vocal performance, both of which she sticks a landing on. However, What's Wrong With Me features a guest performance from Robert Smith, and I definitely am a bit mixed on his vocal delivery, and I feel like it doesn't mesh well with Olivia Rodrigo's style at all. I don't find myself revisiting this one because of that contrast, but hey, you guys tell me if I'm crazy. Then we go to Less, which is another personal favorite of mine. Again, fantastic piano work, stellar vocals, one of the strongest lyrical cuts off this entire project. That entire concept of wishing that someone just loved you less because of where it's about to end up is so just heartbreaking, and the performance that she puts on to convey this feels extremely genuine, which makes it so good. Then we go on to Expectations, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I know a lot of people do like this song, but I feel like it's a bit overproduced. It's a bit generic rock-ish. It kind of feels like a Taylor Swift song, but not in a good way, like if that makes any sense. Finally, the album closes off with Cigarette Smoke, which is a nearly 6-minute song. This one is more of that relatable, vivid storytelling that the album excels at, and it ends on such a tragic note for an otherwise very uplifting album. We see what looks like she breaks up with this honeybee character that she established early on, hitting us with harsh lines lines like, "Give me something honest so the memories turn dark." The track evolves into these dark, menacing synths and regret-filled like shouting before abruptly dropping into the soft-spoken tone that's backed up only by a lonely acoustic guitar. She ends the entire record by just repeating "Go Dark" over and over again, and then just fades away. Wow, seems pretty sad for a girl so in love. Wait a second. Honestly, when you put the entire track together, you really start to see the full narrative arc and where she was trying to go with this record. Is it the most profound? No, but there's something about that simplicity and how well written and relatable it feels that gives the audience something that they're able to latch onto and relate to, and all of that together makes the album not only hit on a sonic level, but also on an emotional level. I think this is by far the best Olivia project, and one of the best mainstream releases this year. It is definitely not what I thought we were going to be getting. I cannot wait to see where she goes with her career. This project, to me, is a 8.6 out of 10. That's gonna be all from me today. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below. Hit the subscribe button, smack the like button, and leave all your questions, comments, concerns, rants, or raves in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one.